roll up a pull-up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Tap in. Tap the fuck in. Alright? Now look, for this one, this gonna be about a time when I was on parole. And man, I had to get a job real quick. Tap in. Tap the fuck in. Now look, this parole shit, they don't play. You got to get a job A.S.A.P. So I did what I had to do. Tap in, tap the fuck in. A's Poop, what's the deal, nephew? Tap in, tap the fuck in. Look, right? I was not expecting this shit to ever happen, but it did. And man, I had a lit time at this motherfucking job. Tap in, tap the fuck in. Unc, you ever had to up the switch? Man, that's funny. I done had to up that bitch a bunch of times. Shit, that's why I went to prison. Because I was up in that bitch. Tap in, tap the fuck in. Man, look, this job was one of the best jobs I ever had in my life. Even though I didn't get paid nothing, it just go to show you it's not always about the pay, man. Tap in, tap the fuck in. This was a real life minimum wage job. But man, I had the most fun. Tap in, tap the fuck in. All right, y'all ready? Let's go. So, this 2015, when I first got out of prison, right? Now, I told y'all as soon as I got out, I had got a job right off the rip, right? It was this little soul food restaurant in Detroit. My homeboy just so happened he was working there, but he ended up getting me a job at his spot, where he was working at, because they needed, another person to work there, help out, shit like that. So basically, my mans had the job lined up for me when I got out of prison. So as soon as I got out, boom, they hired me instantly. You know what I'm saying? So cool. I'm working at the soul food restaurant. I'm cutting up the fish, cleaning different foods, shit like that. So I'm learning how to cook food at the same time, clean it, gut it, all of that type of shit. This is a soul food restaurant. So this was the thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning how to, make soul food, right? Well, I ended up buying a car. I told y'all that I bought a car, you know what I'm saying? I went to jail, all type of shit, right? Mars Radu, what's up? Jeffrey Miller, he needs some milk. Anyway, so like I said, I ended up going to jail, right? I went to jail. When I got out of jail, the owner of the restaurant, he didn't want me working there no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to jail type shit. He was just real tight about his business. He didn't want criminals or whatever at his establishment, even though he hired me when I got out. But, I basically caught a new charge type thing. So he wasn't feeling it. So he was like, no, you can't come back, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. Well, my PO like, hey, you got to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, it's a violation of your parole. So I'm like, damn, I got to hurry up and find a fucking job. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck am I about to do? So I'm just putting in apps all over the place. Ain't nobody hiring me. Now on parole, you only got a certain amount of time to get a job. You know what I'm saying? You only got like 30 days to get a job and your ass gonna get violated. You know what I'm saying? What was the charge? The charge, it was armed robbery. So look, right? I'm putting in apps everywhere. I'm trying to get a job. Ain't nobody hiring me. You know what I'm saying? So I put in an app for Chipotle. I kept on seeing Chipotle just popping up everywhere. You know what I'm saying? At that time, Chipotle was, banging. Their promotion was going crazy. So I'm like, all right, let me try and put in an app at this Chipotle. So I put in the app that was hiring. The one that was hiring was on West Bloomfield. West Bloomfield is a suburb out here on the outskirts of Detroit. West Bloomfield is like 30 minutes away from Detroit. That's where all the rich ass people stay at. You know what I'm saying? Is everybody around here know about West Bloomfield? You know what I'm saying? Just the name alone let you know it's a rich ass community. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I get the job at Chipotle. I put in the app. They hired me, right? Cool. I'm on tether. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to jail. I violated my parole by going to jail. You know what I'm saying? For driving on suspended. So I violated the parole. When I violated the parole, I had to do jail time and they put me on the tether. Parole is so much different from probation. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm on parole, right? I'm on tether. I have to get a job. I got a job at Chipotle. Cool. They okayed it, all of this shit, right? When I first started working there at the Chipotle, it was around August. And the Chipotle, they let you wear shorts. You know what I'm saying? At that time. So I had on a pair of shorts when I came in there with my tether on my leg. You know what I'm saying? So everybody like, oh, this nigga got a tether on his leg. Mind you, this is out in the rich suburbs, so they ain't used to that type of shit. So they like, this nigga got a tether on, he must be a bad guy, type thing. So they get to ask me where I'm from, all of that shit. So I'm telling them, I'm from the city, all it is, right? Everybody that worked there was from out there in the suburb. It was only one other guy there that said he was from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So okay, when I told him I was from the D and all that, they like, oh okay, this guy named his name was Deontay, I think it was Deontay. Anyway, Deontay was the guy that worked there. You know what I'm saying? That said he was from the D or whatever. So all the members at Chipotle, they like, hey man, Deontay from Detroit too. Maybe y'all know each other or know some of the same people. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, where you at? You know what I'm saying? So he came out. They like, that's him. So me and dog get to talking. I'm like, man, this nigga ain't from the D. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could just tell he wasn't from the D. Like, he didn't know about shit. He ain't know. So I knew he wasn't from the D, right? So I'm like, what hood you from? He like, man, I'm from 7 Mile, man. Everybody say they from 7 Mile. Everybody. That's just a thing that everybody do. Everybody run to 7 Mile. Whenever it's somebody that's not from Detroit and they trying to claim Detroit, and then somebody chin check them like, hey, what hood you from? Everybody run to 7 Mile. It's like that's just the place to run to if you don't know what hood to claim. If you're not from Detroit and you don't know what hood to claim, just say 7 Mile. That's what everybody do, right? Everybody run to 7 Mile because people know if they say any other hood, they know they're gonna get checked because other hoods ain't as big as 7 Mile. 7 Mile got a long ass range, like long ass fucking range. So people know they can run with the 7 Mile thing and can get away with it. But any other hood, they smaller hoods and everybody know each other. You know what I'm saying? 7 Mile just a hood that's big as hell where a bunch of people can just be claiming 7 Mile. You know what I'm saying? Well, wrong nigga to play that with because I know everybody all up and down 7 Mile, east to west. So I'm like, 7 Mile? I'm like, 7 Mile and what? You know what I'm saying? He said Lasher, which is my hood. Oh, nah, that's where you fucked up. You could have said any other hood. You said my hood. I know damn for sure you is not from my hood. Never seen you a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I went right up top of him, like, nah, nigga, you ain't from over there. He like, I am. Woo, woo. I'm like, what block? Got on him about his block. Like, nigga, please, nigga, I stump that bitch every day. He like, look, man, I'ma just be for real, man. My grandma stay over there, I just always coming through there time to time, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I knew it. Cause nigga, that's my hood. Nigga, you ain't from over there. The fuck is you talking about? So After that, I told his people, I'm like, man, that nigga ain't from the D, man. Don't be trying to send people at me talking about Detroit shit. That nigga ain't from the D. They like, what? They like, nah, he was claiming 7 Mile hard. He said he really about that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, watch this. Call dog out. I'm like, come over here. I'm like, what you was saying about the city? He like, nah, man, I was just letting him know that my grandma stayed over there. I just used to be over there time to time, whoopty whoop. Everybody looked like, what? Man, bust out laughing, crying laughing, because they knew he curved up because I called his bluff. You know what I'm saying? Now, before I got there, he was around there telling them he was a gangbanger. He from the mile. He do this, do that. Trying to intimidate them type of shit. Because like I said, they suburban kids. You know what I'm saying? So he was in there trying to intimidate them with this Detroit shit because he know that they didn't know nothing about the D when he wasn't even from the D, let alone 7 Mile. He wasn't even from the D. He was from the suburbs himself, but he was closer to Detroit. So he was trying to play that Detroit shit on them. Guy working mysterious ways. You know what I'm saying? Because he sent me. And I went right through there, checked his ass. Hell nah. And he said my hood at that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he would have said he was from East 7 Mile, he could have got away with it. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what areas of the West 7 Mile, he would have said he probably could have got away with it. But he said my hood. No, sir. Checked out the game. So called his bluff. I ruined his rep, right? Well, of course, he had the higher rep in there because everybody was scared of Detroit niggas. You know what I'm saying? So with him saying he was from Detroit, everybody, put him up there like he was that nigga. Well, when I came through there, boom, I knocked him right off that little platform, right? So they crowning me king now. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was that nigga in that bitch. Swear to God, I was that nigga. I started on prep when I first got the job. Now, I was doing good on prep because I learned prep from the soul food restaurant that I was working at previously. You know what I'm saying? So when I got over to Chipotle and he was teaching me to prep, I pretty much knew how to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to cut and all of that, so I was pretty good with the prep. Well, they moved me up from prep fast as hell. They moved me from prep to grill. And basically, I told them I wanted the grill. I'm like, man, fuck this prep shit. Put me on the grill. They went with it. Because like I said, I was one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? They went right with it. They were like, all right, give it to them. And I didn't even know how to do the shit. I was just watching other people on grill, how they was doing it or whatnot. So I'm a fast learner. You know what I'm saying? I could watch something a couple of times and I got it. So that's what it was. They switched me over to grill. Got the handle in that shit like it was nothing. Like I said, I learned how to cut from the soul food place. And with Chipotle, when it comes to grilling and all of that shit, after you cook it, you got to chop all that shit up. So you got to know how to cut. I already knew how to cut. So all I had to do was learn how to cook it, what temperature to put it on, how long to cook it, flip it, all of that shit. Once I got all that down paid, it was over. I ran the grill, right? So I got my position. I'm on grill. I wasn't making nothing but like $11 an hour at the time. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even about the money. I was having so much fun there. It was crazy. It was crazy. So I was there, I think maybe about 3 or 4 months, something like that. I wasn't there that long. I was there a couple months, right? Now, while I was there, after I came through, two more black guys came through. You know what I'm saying? And both of us was really from the D for real. So all three of us, me and the two new guys that came in, all three of us was really from the D. We was like this. Now we didn't know each other, but we all was from the D for real. You know what I'm saying? So we was like this. Man, we ran that bitch. All of the girls in there loved us, everything. All the girls that was there was all suburban girls. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple of other guys that worked there. Some of them was a little older, and The other ones were suburban people, so they wasn't even on that shit that we was on. But me and the other two guys from the city, man, we had them girls on lock. They was loving us. You know what I'm saying? So it was this one woman that worked there named Sahara, right? Sahara was from Saudi Arabia, so she was Arabic and shit, couldn't even speak English, but she was fine as hell. She was a big woman, I ain't gonna lie, but she was fine as fuck, you know what I'm saying? But she was a big woman. So anyway, she was always on prep and cleanup and all that type of shit, right? Well, just so happened it was another woman that worked there with her. I forgot her name, but she was Chinese. You know what I'm saying? The Chinese woman and Sahara, they was best friends. Well, the Chinese woman knew how to convert Sahara words from Arabic to English. So if Sahara needed to say something to anybody, the Chinese girl would convert it and tell us what she was saying. You know what I'm saying? So one day I'm back there chopping up shit, and the Chinese girl come with Sahara. She like, look, she like, Sahara love you. I'm like, what? I stopped chopping. I looked up. She standing right there with her. She like, do you see her? Sahara loves you. She love you. I'm like, what? She like, yeah. She really want to be with you. She like you. I'm looking at Sahara. I'm like, for real? She standing there, talking her Arabic language and shit. I ain't know what the fuck she was saying. But the Chinese girl, like, yeah, Sahara like you, so if you want her number or you want to get to talking to her, blah blah blah, hook up with her. I'm like straight up, I'm like, okay, cool, this is my first little Arabic chick, so I'm like, shit, let me see what she talking about. So I get her number. I told the Chinese girl, I'm like, yeah, tell her I said what's up. So she telling her, the Arabic girl, Sahara, she dancing around all happy and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that the Chinese girl wasn't lying. So Sahara pulled her phone out, boom, gave it to me, right? So I put my number in her phone and shit. All right, cool. Later on that day, Sahara worked the morning shift. I was working the night shift, but I come in a little early sometimes, so I was able to catch, the morning shift. And she was on her and the Chinese girl was on the morning shift. Well, Sahara got off work, a couple hours go by. I'm a couple hours in into my shift, right? Next thing I know, Sahara come through the door with this little girl, right? And when you work at Chipotle, they set up the podium right there in front of the glass and the doors and shit like that, so you see everybody coming in. Well, when I seen her walking in with the little girl, I'm like, the fuck is who is this little girl? I'm like, maybe that's her little sister or something. So they came in and she came to come get me. She like, she called me by my name. She like, come here, come here. So I went over there to them, and they set me down at a table in there because in Chipotle they got tables and shit. So we sitting at the table. The little girl was like 10, 11 years old. The little girl was translating everything that Sahara was saying. This was her little sister. She brought her little sister up there to translate what she had to say to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, what's going on? Well, Sahara talking to her in Arabic, and the little girl was Arabic, but she knew English. Sahara couldn't speak English at all. The only English she could speak is like yes, no, or she could say somebody's name. Other than that, you wouldn't understand what the fuck she was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So Sahara talking to the girl, she telling her, what she got to say. The girl come back to me like, look, she like, I don't know if you looking for a serious relationship or whatnot, but my sister Sahara really want to be with you. She really like you. And mind you, I just started this job. You know what I'm saying? And basically she was saying, you know, I'm her dream guy type shit. You know what I'm saying? And eventually she want to marry me. Fuck that. Do I want to marry her? She want to marry me. Like that's how they was cut and they little religion thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Sahara wanted to marry me type shit. I'm like, look, man, we cool, we could talk and everything, but you know, marriage and all that. I'm like, I just got out of jail. I'm trying to get my life right, you know. She like, okay, well, I'll tell her what you said, but she want to marry you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, not right now. We can be friends, but marriage, nah, not right now. You know. So okay, she told her, you know, what I had to say and everything. So Sahara get to chirping back again. So little girl come back. She like, look, she like, she said she wants you to meet her at this hotel room. I'm like, what? Straight up. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, she said she was gonna text it to me and all of this shit, right? Well, before they left, Sahara got to telling her on her phone, you know, something about her phone because I text Sahara a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? And I guess she didn't understand what I was texting because I texted after she left. You know, like text her my name and all of that shit. You know how to spell my name, whatnot. And I realized she never replied back. So before they was about to leave, she was showing the girl on her phone, you know, my messages or whatever. So the little girl taught her how to translate her Arabic words on her phone to English. So she put on the translation thing, and Sahara got to talking to me from the translation. You know what I'm saying? So basically, she like, yeah, you know, I want us to go to this room. You know, we gonna have a good time. I'm paying for everything. Don't worry about it. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Fast forward to tape. I never even went to the room because I was messing with this little rat bitch on some other shit. I ain't gonna lie, I was on some bullshit. I forgot all about going to meet up with Sahara at the room because I was with this little rat. You know what I'm saying? After that, Sahara like fell back on me because I didn't go to that room with her. You know what I'm saying? I real life forgot. You know, I guess she thought I was spinning her, but I real life forgot. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, after that, Sahara wasn't really talking to me and none of that, you know, at work and all of that type of shit. All right, whatever. I'm gonna get back with y'all on Sahara. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more to the story. I didn't just bring her up for nothing. So all right, fast forward to tape. I keep working. I keep going on about my business. Me and my dogs, we still got all the other girls in there going crazy over it. Sahara was just an older Arabic chick. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I was like in my mid 20s. I was like 25, 26. Sahara might have been like 40. You know what I'm saying? So she was like a cougar to us for sure, you know. Well, while me and my dogs in there got the other girls going crazy, it was this other chick that worked there named Maggie. Maggie was Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And she was a virgin. And long story short on her, her and Deontay, the nigga that was faking that Detroit shit, they was in a relationship. And basically, you know, when I had checked dog, she ended up breaking up with him because he was throwing all that Detroit shit on her. And basically, she didn't like him lying. So they tussled back and forth for like a month about that shit. Then she ended up breaking up with him. So after she broke up with him, she slid over to me. Cause like I said, me and the other two Detroit niggas, we had to shine in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So all the girls was digging us. Maggie was one of them. She was digging me. After she left Deontay, she came right over to me. So me and her, we just at work just kicking it. You know, I ain't thinking much of it. I'm just thinking, you know, we in there talking our shit. Whole time she shooting her move on me. You know what I'm saying? So while she shooting her move, she had just cut into me one night, you know, while we working this shit. She like, you eat pussy? I'm like, yeah, but you know, not really. You know what I'm saying? Like I would literally just start eating pussy around that time. Like before I went to prison, all that, I ain't never eat pussy. You know what I'm saying? Never. So NTE, what's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? Now look, with the Maggie girl, right? Like I said, she cut into me, asked me about eating pussy. I'm like, yeah, you know, like I said, I literally just started doing that shit because before I went to prison, I wasn't doing it. But after I got out, I hooked up with a girl, and man, she had me eat her pussy, and It was there ever since, you know. So I started eating pussy after I got out of prison, type shit, you know. I'm gonna make a video about her too. She was wild as hell. But anyway, so I'm like, yeah, you know, I eat pussy. She like, well, you know, she said she sucked dick. I'm like, okay, what that supposed to mean? She like, maybe we should do that together. Oh hell yeah, you know what's up? I'm like, shit, she came cutting to me like that's crazy, you know. So the plan was, cause she, like I said, she was Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And her family, they didn't play that shit. So basically, under her religion, she was still a virgin. She was waiting to get married to have sex. That was her thing. But she would have oral sex. She didn't do the physical penetration, but she would do oral sex. You know what I'm saying? That was her thing, right? Man, listen, swear to God, the thing was when we got off work, I had a car, right? I had a Monte Carlo. This was a SS. This was before the one that I was talking about. I had another Monte Carlo. You know what I'm saying? And I was driving it to work. It was like a '01 or '02 Monte. You know what I'm saying? Every night when we got off work, what we do is when we all get off, we go out the back door to the parking lot to go get in our cars and pull off. Well, when we all get off work, I go get in my car, she get in her car, and everybody else get in their cars and they'll leave. Well, me and her be sitting there, you know, acting like we warmed up the car, like we waiting on some shit or whatever, you know. Everybody else get in the car and pull the fuck off. Cause they ready to go home, you know what I'm saying? So they wasn't thinking about us. They just jump in the car and pull the fuck off, right? Well, while that's going on, me and girl, I'm sitting in my car, she's sitting in her car. After everybody pull off, she'd get out of her car, come get in my car. We be in the car kicking it for a minute, and she cut right into me. Like, take your pants off. I'm ready to suck you up. She was on it. Like, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, this girl a virgin. But she was into the oral sex thing. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I don't got no problem. I drop drawers. You feel me? I do not got a problem. But I'm not an old rapist type of nigga. So, you know, I'm not over all excessive with it, you know, trying to be extra, you know. Well, she wasn't feeling that. She was with it. She like, shit, we do enough talking throughout the day. Drop them drawers, you feel me? So there was. Man, listen, one of the best head givers I ever had in my life. And this coming from a girl that was a virgin. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you struck me with that one. Look, I struck myself because I was not expecting this at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that shit just happened out of nowhere. You feel me? So she'd slide me up. We'd get in the back seat. I lay her down. I eat her out. You know what I'm saying? Shit, she was a virgin. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And she stuck to that because I didn't try to slide up in her so many times. You know what I'm saying? Like while I'm eating the shit out of her, you know, she going crazy, legs shaking and all of that shit. And I try and get up and slide up in her, you know what I'm saying? And she boom, hit me with the X-Men every time. Like, no, every time. Like she did not do the penetration. You know what I'm saying? I could stick my fingers all up in her. I could stick my tongue all up in her. I could slide my face all up in it. But when it came to dick in that pussy, she was not having it. I mean, and she would slide me up until I come in her mouth. She would swallow all that shit and everything like it's nothing. But she would not let me penetrate. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of the weirdest, coolest shit at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it worked. It was what it was. I would have loved it. I know you would have, dog. Bro, I swear to God. And the best part about it was is we kept it on the low. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't no old gossiping ass shit. Like me and her was doing this every day when we got off. Well, every night when we got off. We'd be the last two to leave. Everybody else would pull off. As soon as everybody else pull off, she'd get in my car and we go for it every time. We never did nothing in her car. It was always in my car. So she was like completely No evidence at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, no evidence on her end at all. Cause she wouldn't even let me get in her car. She would just come jump in my shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, man, some of the best time of my life. And like I said, I was making like $11 an hour. And I didn't give a fuck. It was just fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in there cooking the food, right? I'm on the grill. So I'm making the chicken, the steak, the fajitas, the rice. You know what I'm saying? I'm making all this shit, right? And Chipotle rules, when you cook the steak, they want it medium well done, medium rare, whatever the fuck that is. They want it cooked medium. That's Chipotle rules. I was cooking that shit well done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was good with everybody in that bitch. I was cooking the steak well done, chopping that shit up, throwing it in the bucket, sending it up front. You know what I'm saying? They go ahead, wrap that shit up in the burritos or the bowls, whatever, send that shit out. Listen, right? The customers was coming back with good reviews saying that I was the best cook out that whole store. So I had the customers rocking with me. I had the females in there rocking with me. I had my dogs from the city with me. And I had Maggie on the side sliding me up as soon as we got off work every night. Like, and mind you, this was some janky shit. You know what I'm saying? All because I went to jail. If I wouldn't have went to jail, I wouldn't have never got that job at that Chipotle, and none of that shit would have never happened. You know what I'm saying? But because I went to jail and I lost my soul food job, I love that job too, cause it was in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So everybody from the hood was coming up there. Man, we be smoking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, the owner, that nigga was a drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was ghetto because where his restaurant was on Schoolcraft. I done told y'all about Detroit hoods. You know what I'm saying? His establishment is called Yusuf's Place. The owner named Yusuf. So y'all can Google it. Y'all know I'm not lying. You Google this shit, it's a little bitty ass store right on Schoolcraft. You know what I'm saying? Schoolcraft is the fucking ghetto. And I said it's one of them hoods that don't get talked about. One of Detroit's most hated hoods. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, I love working there. And that was a hood that we didn't fuck with. But man, I had a time over there. Like, dog, I swear to God, I had my whole life been lit. Just out the blue shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was a drunk. So that nigga would come like a little pint of I'm about to say 1500, a little pint of 1800 every day. And he'd have it in the freezer. Like he had a little ghetto ass refrigerator freezer in there, where he be storing the food and shit like that. It was ghetto as hell. You would open that motherfucker, to prep something. See his damn 1800 sitting there in the damn drawer of the freezer and shit, freezing his damn 1800. He drinking, all of us in there, we smoke. So after we make whatever meals and prep whatever we need to prep, when everything was caught up, man, we'd go outside and we'd be out there smoking. You know what I'm saying? And in the back, it was an alley. Mind you, this Detroit, so we in a Detroit alley. You know what I'm saying? We all back there smoking, talking shit, whatever. Like, man, that was a cool ass spot. So I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of hurt, when I did lose that job, I was kind of hurt about that. But Chipotle backs me and for me, you know what I'm saying, and turned me right up. You feel me, man? Dog, Chipotle was next level. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I couldn't do in Chipotle that I was doing at the soul food place was smoking. You feel me? That was the only thing. And I couldn't even smoke at the soul food place. I had to go outside. It was a regular thing to do it there, then Chipotle. You feel me? Man, listen. Both of them jobs back to back. So much motherfucking fun. So much fun. But yeah, the girl Maggie, it was every night. Every night we was getting it in. You know what I'm saying? And man, she wouldn't stop until I nutted. Promise you, every time. You know what I'm saying? I titty fuck her, all of that shit. Like she was with everything but penetration. She just was not with the penetration, you know. And honestly, it saved her because if I would have penetrated her, she would have been in love. You know what I'm saying? Because man, we was on it. You feel me? So, she did right by not letting me penetrate. I would have took her soul. You feel me? But man, other than that, I mean the oral sex that we was doing, that shit was amazing, man. Like that was a time had, you feel me, in the Chipotle parking lot at that. It ain't like we went over to the next parking lot and nothing. We did that right there in that same parking lot every night. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised ain't nobody ever, spent another lap around the building and caught us back there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy, dog. We was doing that shit every night, man. And then the next day, we'd go to work and act like we don't even know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, we would walk past each other all day long working, acting like we don't know each other. But soon as we walk out that back door, we back there cutting like a motherfucker. You feel me? We cutting. And her dude or her ex dude, Deontay, I know he got hip to, me and her fucking around because he was always, having little bitch fits, shit like that, trying to talk to her. She ain't, giving him no play. Then he give me these little side looks and shit like that. So he knew something was going on, but he didn't know exactly what was going on. And what was going on was I was tearing your girl mouth up. Oh my God, boy. Her jaw stayed full with my meat. Tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Every night. Like, it was crazy. Then, fast forward the tape on that, right? So, we doing that every night. Every night we doing that, right? So, I know you got stories of being in Ohio. Nah, I only got one story of being in Ohio, and that's when I went out there to go grab my wide body charger. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what I went out there for. I went out there to go pick up this charger, and I drove that bitch right back to the D. So, nah, I don't got no Ohio stories. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't even traveled nowhere for real, so I really don't got no state to state stories besides going state to state to get another car. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all about that one of these days. You know what I'm saying? I was going state to state picking up cars. I'll talk about that one day. But that was it. But like vacating and shit like that, nah. I ain't never, been nowhere. I've been a hood nigga my whole life. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, as far as when it comes to the cars, I done definitely been to a couple of states. So I'll tell y'all about that, at a later time. But back to the whole, Chipotle thing. So fast forward to tape, a couple months go down the line, they fired the manager that was working there. The manager was too lenient. He was like he was letting us run that bitch. We was all young in our mid 20s. The manager he was like 40, but he was cool with us. He liked us. You know what I'm saying? So he let us just do whatever the fuck we wanted to do. Well, he got fired behind it. They fired him, and they picked up this dyke girl. She was a dyke. You know, she had her girlfriend working there with us and everything. Now at first, the gay girl was cool as hell. Man. One day, I I overplayed. I ain't gonna lie, I was overplaying. And like I like had like grabbed her shirt, like this, and she ain't like that shit. So she tried to go off on me, talking about I play too much in front of everybody, trying to be funny. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because we was just a family like that. We all played with each other, you know. And when she came there, she acted like she was in the mix with us. So I overplayed with her one day, and she tried to put me on Embarrass Street, which didn't work. Because she knew all the girls in there liked me, so she was trying to embarrass me in front of them. Shit didn't work. So what I do, I fell back on her. I stopped talking to her, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And she felt it. So long story short, she ended up firing me behind it because I stopped fucking with her. The new manager, she fired me because I wouldn't play around with her no more. So after she tried to embarrass me and it didn't work, she tried to go back to the other girls trying to be funny to them. But they wasn't laughing. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't fucking with her because they know how we rock. You know what I'm saying? And she coming in there, trying to stir shit up. She trying to fuck up what we got going on. So the other girls wasn't feeling her. You know what I'm saying? Well, after that, she came back trying to joke back with me, trying to get back cool with me and shit. I wasn't having it. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't get back cool with her. After that shit, she fired me behind it. I got fired. She talking about she ain't like my attitude and all of this whole shit, and she could fire me if she want. And I just said fuck it. So the Chipotle days was over with because of the dyke girl was hating on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I had the juice, and basically she wanted to take the girls from me, but the girls wasn't gay. They didn't want her, so she ain't do nothing but make herself look like a fool. So her get back at me was to fire me. So that was the Chipotle story. You know what I'm saying? But for them 3, 4 months, however long it was that I was there, man, it was lit. It was fucking lit. I had a ball there, making $11 an hour. I had a ball. I didn't even care about the money. I just came there, to be productive and to have fun with my team. Like, we was a team, man. It was fun. We got this shit done. Chipotle, you eat for free. So it wasn't like, I had to spend my money on food or none of that. It was cool, man. It was cool. Chipotle was, damn, excuse me. Chipotle was a nice little pit stop. You know what I'm saying? It really was. And Maggie was with the shit. And out of all them girls that worked there, that was all on my head and all letting it be known that they was on my head, ain't none of them gave me no pussy, no head, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? But the one girl, Maggie, that was in a relationship with the nigga that I called out, she was the one slobbing me up every fucking night. Ain't that crazy how that worked? While all the other girls in there sack chasing me the whole time, we on the clock. But as soon as the clock over with, oh, they going on about their life. Psh, that was just work time. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Be careful with your girlfriends that work these jobs because they be in there sack chasing like a motherfucker. And I know because I'm one of them. So anyway, they sack chase the whole motherfucking shift. Then when the clock run out, they just run home. Never hear from them again. It just be on some at work type shit. But that was cool because afterward, Maggie came behind and cleaned that up. You feel me? On Beezy. Maggie about that life. And I wouldn't go back to that job for that, but just to say, like, if this was still back in that time, you know what I'm saying, and I could have kept that job, I would have stayed there, you know. But it was just time for me to depart. I moved on. I got better after that. So salute to the dyke girl for firing me. So I got better from that. But the time that I was there, man, it was a time had, dog. And like I said, the best part about it was Maggie kept her mouth closed the whole time. She didn't say not one word. She wasn't in there trying to intimidate other girls. She wasn't, walking past me doing no funny shit, like trying to let other bitches know she the one slobbing me up or none of that. She wasn't on none of that. Like, you wouldn't even believe Maggie even sucked dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was so holy and wholesome, you wouldn't even believe it. But like I said, one thing she, did keep on lock was that coochie. Cause I didn't definitely try to slide up in that thing damn near every time we did it. Damn near. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, because of course, a few times I knew not to even try it because it just wasn't happening. But I still was trying. You know what I'm saying? Like I get better and better with eating her out. You know, to try and open her up. And she wasn't going. She was hitting me with that X factor. Nope, nope, ain't shit up. You can put your face down there all you want, but you try and slide up and put your dick in, X factor. You know what I'm saying? So she kept that motherfucker on lock. And I see. Fast forward to tape now. A couple years later, I ended up finding her on Facebook, right? And she didn't got married, and she with a Mexican guy. So he was the lucky guy, to finally crack that code. But what you don't know is her mouth is blew the fuck out. Cause I know I ain't the first one that she been doing this with. Girl was experienced. You know what I'm saying? And she was with Deontay before me. So I'm pretty sure she was doing that with him too. And ain't no telling how many other guys she was doing this with. You know what I'm saying? So he might have been the first to get the coochie, but boy, that mouth been around a couple of blocks. I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So to you, Deontay, you bitch ass nigga, you old Care Bear ass nigga, fake ass wannabe from the hood ass nigga, this is to you. Your girl Maggie was sliding me up every night. And I'm pretty sure probably by this time you probably didn't find my page by now. You know what I'm saying? And if you watching, your girl Maggie was sliding me up every night. I know that hurt your heart, don't it? It's been another live stream. Roll up a poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.